Hello, my name is Ector. Welcome back to Sky Factory 3. We are back. We're in the Nipple Hub as per usual generally. How's everyone doing? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to what I believe should be the penultimate episode of Sky Factory 3. And I have here before me this thing. And this is what we're going to be doing today. Because we need to produce 1 billion RF per tick, which is, you know, there's 20 ticks in a second, so it's actually 20 billion RF a second, which is insane. And this is how we're going to do it. This is how we are going to do it. So I have here a nether star generator Mark III. Now each one of these costs a whopping 64 nether stars to produce. And we're going to need 391 of these to get to a billion RF a tick. And I just thought before we kind of do it, I'd kind of start explaining how this works basically, because there's a few things we need to set up. We're going to be doing this with Flux plugs, and I've set up a network just for this basically. So it's just called Nether Star. And what you need to do is priority 0, put the maximum at 0. There we go, and ignore limit to false. Okay, and then you need. This is what I've just learned, because I was having trouble getting this to work. You then need to go to your controller, so make sure you have a Flux controller. Pick the one that you want, then go home, and you get these additional options. And you need to put this to 0 as well here. That's what wasn't working initially for me when I tried to do this. But once you do that, what you can do is you can... Oh, well now. That is interesting, because that should not have done that. That should not have done that at all. I'm very confused. I literally just tried this just before we started this. Interesting. Well now. I've got egg on my face. Let's just have a look. This one should receive max yet. I don't understand what just happened. I really don't. Yeah. That's a bit odd. That is a bit odd. Because this still has it. This hasn't sent anything. Do I? I'm also very confused. Let's just get another nether star quickly. You can see I've got some fish here. Let's just get one quickly. I'm kind of potentially wasting these now. See, that one doesn't go, but that's because that is fully done. That is weird. That is very strange. Let's just break this quickly. There we go. And put you back. And we've obviously done that. And does that... Yeah, that happens again. Because what should be happening... Boom. Is that once we do this, we can just set that to true, and then we get the kind of burst of energy coming through. That is what I believed we could do. But that doesn't seem to be working, and I'm not sure why. This is a big issue, because this really kind of affects how we do today's task. Because that was what I believed should work, and I got this from the Feed the Beast Reddit page. Someone did this, and it kind of all worked out for them. So I was like, hey, that is excellent. But that doesn't seem to want to be doing that, does it? Like, I'm kind of confused. I won't lie. That is a little bit confusing and irritating. I don't know. Has that, when I set that to true, has that actually... Well, I've still got that there. Why does that... This is also very confusing. Is that because that is there? Let's put you on the side. There we go. And see what happens to you. So that is there. Ignore limit true. That is still there. This is all very confusing. Why does that still have 60 million RF there? Ignore limit true. I don't understand. Some of you, I'm sure, will know the answer to this. This is that as well. Everything's on true now, but that still has the energy. And I don't really understand why. Is that the amount of nether stars it has? I don't really understand how this works, apparently. Well, this is interesting. This is very interesting, because that really kind of hurts my plans for today. Potentially, if I can't figure out how this works. So let me try and figure this out and see if I can do it. In the meantime, I will make an additional 390 nether star generators, just because, well, we need a lot anyway, so I might as well do that. Okay then, so I think I kind of figured it out. It does work, but there's a bit of confusion. So let's just get. So I've got all my. Oh, I've left one in the overworld. That's fine. We can go get that in a moment. So that's all of them -1. We also need flux doodads. We need probably about 100. Let's just do that. Bam. Let's start that. Hopefully that shouldn't take too long. So yeah, that's doing its thing. So basically what I've kind of not discovered or figured out, but kind of half. If we do that, and I think what we're going to do is, if we do this and this, we'll do it like this basically, so that I have essentially a wall of them, just because I can then access all of the nether star generators really quite easily. So that's how we're going to do it. Oh, a bit closer. Where's all the flux? Have we got some? Oh, let's just do that. There we go. Let's put you there. So the way I think it will work is if we do that, select a network. So we put this to that like this. So this should be on that. Now I don't know if we have to put that on 0 as well. That is an interesting point. I didn't test that, and that is something I definitely should test. I think it's okay because this is a flux plug, and I think it's the flux point that needs to just be set to 0 and ignore limit. I believe. Yes, because that is the input. Now, the only thing I've then noticed is that the best way it seems to do it is to load up every one of these with 4 nether stars rather than 3, which is what the guy said on the Reddit post, because I doesn't seem, no matter what I do, once I put one in here, it always seems to take it in immediately. So if I put 4 in, one of them will kind of immediately make some energy, and then the other 3 will just sit there. So I think that is what I'm going to do, essentially. Now, I'm trying to do it so that I have a decent pattern, like this, and then here like that, and then we should be able to do... Oh, this is kind of confusing now. If I could go down into there and do that, like that, like that, like that, something like that, and then we have another one here, essentially, like this. Bam, bam, and bam. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna set all these flux plugs up as well, and then I've got to load each one individually with 4 nether stars. Now I know some people are gonna say you could use the round robin on, like, you know, Ender IO conduits or something, and I could, but I'd have to set all of that up anyway. So I think it'll just be almost just as simple to just load them up. And then at least I kind of know, and I can check kind of first hand almost that that is the case and that they are actually done. So I think that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be a tedious task, no doubt. I've got a lot of generators to set up, but yeah, hopefully it will work. So that's what I'm going to do now. Right then, would you look at that? That is a crazy wall of generators. That is absolutely, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Now, just in case anyone is kind of saying, you know, you can attach more generators, obviously, to the back, and I could, but I think this is just going to be simpler to keep a track of. So I am literally going to kind of go all the way across, you know, essentially, and just kind of, you know, fill up each generator with 4 nether stars. And in case you're wondering, that is 1,564 nether stars, which is that many. That many. 24 stacks and 28, I do believe, if my maths is correct, which I really hope it is. So this is what I'm going to be doing for the foreseeable future. That took me quite a while. This is probably going to take me longer. So what I'm going to be doing, I think, well, to begin with, I mean, this is going to be hard because I'm essentially just kind of... Oh, this is so irritating. Let's turn this off for now. I'm going to, as soon as the first kind of few go in, I'm going to just keep on kind of dividing this by 4. And I want to keep all of these in my inventory just so I know that I will have done it right. Once I finished, I should be completely out of nether stars. So it's a kind of, you know, quality control. I'm kind of trying to do a bit of it just in case, because this is going to be painful. This is going to be painful to do. So I'm going to get on with it. That's what I'm going to be doing. Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, and there's that one. Okay, so that is all of them done, and that has, my maths was correct. That I haven't added any more, but as you just saw then with that one, sometimes this happens, and that's what happened to me just before I started recording this episode when I was kind of trying. So that has eaten one of my nether stars, but it's not produced any energy, and you can see I've kind of added a bit of cobble to everywhere where it's done that. So it's done that a few times, not, you know, a huge amount. And I don't know why. There's clearly some kind of little glitch here, because you can see, I presume that number there is the fact that there's maybe a nether star in there, and here there isn't. That's what I'm assuming. That is what I'm assuming. I don't know if that's the case. Oh, that is not what I wanted. Brilliant. Where are we? Where are we? Let's just get a few more nether stars. Just to put in a few more into those places that had the cobble, because oh, actually, I don't need that many. Maybe that many, something like that. Just because, well, I just want to make sure that this works, you know. So we'll put some extra ones in wherever there's a deficiency. So not that one. Oh, that one. Yes, yes. There we go. You, bam, and that just ensures that we do get, you know, the kind of full amount. Because the last thing I want to do is do all that again. And you can see then we were alright for quite a while, and all of a sudden it happened like 4 times. Not you, you, boom. Not you out. Not you. There we go. Bam. And then I presume you. Yes. Bam. And you. Bam. How many more? Is that the last one up there? I think so. I think so. Boom. Okay, so that looks... this looks to be complete. Oh, let's actually take that off. Yes, did that one. Let's take you off. So that looks like it should be completely full of nether stars. All of these flux plugs are kind of set. So I believe, really, because I've set all the ignore limits to true, the max there, it won't take that into account because it's just ignore the limit. And it's set to the nether star. So hopefully when we do the flux point, it should basically work. This should work, and if it doesn't, I won't lie, I'm gonna cry. I am gonna cry. Like, that is gonna be a thing. So some people right now are probably gonna want for this to not work, but I will be so disappointed. So I think all that's left for me to do is go back to the overworld and set this off, essentially. So I will see you over there. Okay, so we're here. I'm very nervous that this isn't going to work. I've also discovered recently that you can just click on the actual ball and see. Also, if you notice, I've only got like 20,000 RF going in. Even though I've got draconic energy cells, I have noticed that those guys stop working sometimes. So you have to kind of replace them, and then they work for a bit, and then they stop working again. So they are rubbish. They're really disappointing. So that's really, yeah, that's a bit gutting. So the nether stars, apparently each nether star on the Mark III kind of burns for like 2 seconds basically. So this should only like last about 6 to 8 seconds. All of this work, about 2 hours of setup time or something, for 6 to 8 seconds. So let's do it. Yes, there it is. 1 billion. We have 1 billion. It says 1 billion. We've done it. That was, oh my god. I can't believe that actually worked. And it was, I mean, I probably should have done that just to see, but that said 1 billion. That said 1 billion. I'm so happy that worked. I'm so happy that worked. So, let's go down here and do the thing. Boom! Look at that. Age of Insanity is actually done. We've actually done the Age of Insanity. So, if we look through, yeah, we've just got jump between 2 tame dragons and hatch a dragon egg and train it. So that is the only thing that we need to do. But, you know, for next episode, we're going to do something a little bit more special, just to finish off the series, and you know, yeah, it won't just be training just a dragon, because that's a bit rubbish. So we'll do something a little bit more special just to finish up. So I hope you'll join me for that. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, watching me struggle to make 1 billion RF a tick, but that did do it. So thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, a like or comment is always very much appreciated. And of course, make sure you're subscribed, especially to check out the next episode, the last episode of Sky Factory 3. It's been quite the ride. Thanks so much for watching. I've been Ector. This has been Sky Factory 3. I'll see you in the next one, the last one. Bye bye.